In the USL season, there are a lot of questions that have to be answered at various points along the path if you want to make it to the last game of the year. One of those questions gets answered tonight for both the Charleston Battery and ATL UTD2. The question is, how do you handle the quick turn? Hopefully we'll have some answers at the end of 90 minutes. John Nelson alongside Jason Longshore. And Jason, we're going to get into the starting 11s in just a little bit when it comes to these two sides, but they're coming at it from two different approaches, trying to get the same thing to happen, have the ball go into the back of the net. Yeah, completely different styles of soccer. Charleston, for a long time under Coach Mike Anhauser, very direct, defense first. That's what you're seeing in this lineup tonight. Atlanta United, too, they like to develop the play out of the back. They like the combination play. They like the short passes. They like to build and combine in the attack. Very different styles tonight. And the way that you look at it from ATL UTD2, this is a tough stretch. We mentioned the quick turn. This has a little bit of depth to it, too. Yeah, for a young team, this is where you get that first test going into a stretch of games that you have to be able to bounce back quickly. Second of 3 games in 7 days, and 7 of their next 8 on the road. When we talk about the visitors who are having another question answered, how do you handle the last game of a road trip? The straw that stirs the drink is Attila Guerra. He's the danger man for Charleston. He has been for a couple of years now, really growing into the focal point of their attack. And yeah, obviously we'll keep an eye on Guerra. He had the goal last week in the draw against Penn FC. When you go to the flip side, you know, there are a lot of interesting elements that we'll be getting into for the roster, but the guy we want to focus on is the one that wears the C on his sleeve, and Jack Metcalf. ATL UTD2 has been really promoted on the youth and the attack. Jack Metcalf is the one who holds everything down. He can play in the back. He can play as a defensive midfielder. He is the leader of this young team. And we'll keep an eye on Metcalf and the other guys as we go. When we come back here to the Proving Ground in Coolray Field, we'll let you know what the starting 11s are. Charleston Battery, the last game of a long road trip. ATL UTD2, last home game for a long time. We'll come to the Proving Ground with all of that information and kickoffs right after this. Stick and stay.
I knew your name before you did. I knew your fears, your hopes. I knew what you could accomplish, how great you could be. And I knew just where to take you when you got hurt.
You'll be back out there in no time.
For physical therapists and certified athletic trainers who only work with young athletes, there's Children's Healthcare of Atlanta Sports Medicine. Moms know.
Los accidentes suceden sin avisar y conseguir el tratamiento médico que usted o un familiar merece puede resultar difícil si no cuenta con la ayuda de un buen abogado. Por eso nos dedicamos a pelear por sus derechos, asegurándonos que usted no solo reciba la compensación que merece, sino que también reciba la mejor atención médica. Le atendemos en español. 404-888-8888. Bader Law Firm, comprometidos con usted y su familia.
There are never enough hours in the day, so you can't let sniffles, strep, or aches and pains slow you down. But finding great healthcare that fits your schedule can be tricky. With Piedmont Quick Care at Walgreens, you can get great same-day care right around the corner. There are 27 locations and counting, all with extended hours and most open 7 days a week. You can book an appointment online to get in, out, and on your way. Visit piedmont.org/quickcare now to learn more. Piedmont Quick Care at Walgreens, one stop to better.
I knew your name before you did. I knew your fears, your hopes. I knew what you could accomplish, how great you could be. And I knew just where to take you when you got hurt.
You'll be back out there in no time.
For physical therapists and certified athletic trainers who only work with young athletes, there's Children's Healthcare of Atlanta Sports Medicine. Moms know.
Welcome back to the Proving Ground. John Nelson and Jason Longshore getting ready for ATL UTD2 in the Charleston Battery. And it's a very wet Proving Ground, Jason. So magic what happens in the commercial break, right?
Yeah, all of a sudden, huh?
So it looks like they're ready to go down on the pitch. We'll get to the starting 11s here. Here's the starting 11 for the Battery. And Jason, let's just say it's interesting.
Yeah, it's a 3-6-1 or a 5-4-1, depending on how you look at it. Joe Kosminski in goal, 3 center backs, Neville Hackshaw, Taylor Mueller, Skylar Thomas, Jared Van Schaik on the left side, Jay Bolt on the right, 4 midfielders, Ryan Arambula, Todd Brian Anunga, Gordon Wild, Atula Guerra, and Ian Svantesson up top.
And on the flip side, you know, when you will get to, we had to have some math done when it comes to the ATL UTD2 starting 11 because they are very, very young.
Nico Careau starts in goal, back line, 4 across the back. Mikey Ambrose, Kendall Edwards, Miles Robinson, Andrew Wheeler Amanu. 2 holding midfielders, Andrew Kendall Moulin and Jack Metcalf. Andrew Carlton is your number 10 in front of them. Jose Carranza on the left wing, Lagos Kunga on the right wing. Jackson Conway from the academy up top. 21.1 years old, average age tonight.
See, we had to do math. Can't run a car, but you can start in a starting 11 when it comes to ATL UTD2, and there are a lot of folks tonight, both in the stands and up on the second level, who are looking at this bunch thinking that there's a lot to look at, and we are underway from a very wet Coolray Field. Atula Guerra had it, lost it. Andrew Carlton, a lot of back and forth. Anticipate a lot of feeling out here in the first couple of minutes, and also anticipate a lot of slippage because of the rain that has happened. Record rains yesterday in Atlanta, over 4 inches, Jason.
And it's a small pitch too, so it's going to take both of these teams a little bit of time to feel each other out and get settled in.
Skylar Thomas sends it forward. Guerra missed it, got it back. And the back and forth continues. Andrew Carlton. Now you mentioned a lot of the young names, and right there, Jackson Conway tries to dribble out of 2, picked off by Taylor Mueller, working forward. Metcalf and Kendall Moulin chasing. And I think early on, with action in the middle, working its way over here to the near side, that patch right there that the folks are on, with Wheeler Amanu on the big switch, we're going to keep an eye on that infield with the grass transition that was added. So it's a grass field where the baseball infield is. We'll keep an eye on footing there and how the ball tracks because of the example that ATL UTD, that Atlanta United had up in Nashville. And it was, let's just say it was gummy.
The pitch looks great from here. This is the first test with rain in a match.
Yes. So we'll see what happens with the pitch. Once again, back and forth. 90 seconds in. Deep send, shielded off, and Joe Kuzminski with the pickup.
So far, we're seeing Andrew Carlton very comfortable dropping deep in possession, trying to spring attacks from a little bit deeper than we saw from him on Saturday.
Hackshaw, Van Schaik, and back to Kuzminski, who will send it forward to the middle of it all. Guerra chasing, Mikey Ambrose sent back to Nico Careau. Wheeler Amanu sent forward, anticipating a give and go, wasn't there. Hackshaw's there for Charleston. Jockeying going on, once again picked up, picked off. Here come the battery, down the near side in the corner, sent into the box. Action going, Guerra has it, sends it all the way over, and back in, give and go with Bolt. Big launch, Skylar Thomas over the net and off the wall.
Ambitious from Thomas, but we're already seeing ATL UTD2 have some issues with Ian Svantesson, the 6'6" forward for the battery. He's a handful for most teams, but especially against these 2 center backs, Miles Robinson and Kendall Edwards. Edwards is still part of the U17 Atlanta United Academy, and Miles Robinson was a 2nd pick in the Super Draft last year in MLS. He's really started to get some more, comfort in his game, but he's the leader tonight.
Hackshaw, Van Schaik. Trying to work it with Wild, give and go. Van Schaik working his way down the near, into the corner. Back and forth with Wild, playing catch. Van Schaik, part of the team of the week a couple of weeks back. Now it's Hackshaw and Wild, too much. And when we looked at the 11s, obviously with the action that happened on the weekend, with Charleston in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, going against Penn FC, ATL UTD2 with their action as well against Lou City. Some folks got rested, and it's an interesting opportunity for those folks as Van Schaik sends it in with the left. A whiff there in the box. Guerra thought about it, got caught between ideas, and there's Todd Brian Anunga. So I think that minutes for those who played full is a question going forward. And coming out in transition, ATL UTD2.
Great header from Kendall Edwards.
Once again, looking at the control, Carranza, Kunga. Anunga, whistle foul.
Jose Carranza's first start for ATL UTD2. He's had 4 key passes and only 43 total passes off the bench. He's been a spark plug for this team late in matches. We'll see what he can do with a full 90-minute shift today.
And you have liked his game. When you knew he was showing up here, you've really liked what Carranza can bring to the table.
Love what he brings in 1v1 situations on the dribble.
Wheeler-Amanu looking for Carranza, got Hackshaw instead. Looking on the big switch for Atula Guerra. Mikey Ambrose touched it last, and Bolt with the throw.
A team like ATL UTD2 is always susceptible to that long ball over the top when they get numbers forward. Charleston, that's their bread and butter. So this is going to be an interesting clash of styles tonight.
Miles Robinson. Wheeler-Amanu. Guarded by Van Schaik. Big chip over the top, looking for Conway, and it missed them all, and it goes to Kuzminski.
Big opportunity for Jackson Conway, his first appearance in USL, coming off of a great season with the U17 Academy squad. 26 goals in 22 matches in U.S. Soccer Development Academy play.
Kuzminski sends it back. Chested down by Svaneson to Guerra. Too much for Bolt. Select is the official soccer ball of the USL. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit www.selectsportamerica.com and receive free shipping on orders over $50. Carlton with the chest, going at it with Bolt. 4 bodies in there chasing after it. Battery come out with it. What can Guerra do? Trying to spin around traffic. Bolt with the right, easy pickup, Nico Caro.
Kendall Edwards out defending in space. Charleston wants to get him out of the middle and get him having to defend 1v1 outside.
Carlton with the great heel touch to try to spring Carranza. Picked up by Skylar Thomas. ATL UTD2 is going to have to work it backwards and around the horn. Miles Robinson. Edwards playing catch with Caro. Now Metcalf. Metcalf again in the middle. Little back and forth. Robinson and Caro. Robinson ends up with it. Kendall Moulin playing catch. Into the 8th minute. Charleston and ATL UTD2 still feeling each other out here. Looks like the rain has either slowed or completely stopped. And how will the pitch behave, especially in that section here? Tom Brian Anunga wheels around with the right, sends it deep into the sun, which could be a bit of an issue for Nico Caro here. Going forward, at least here, until the sun goes below the roof here at Coolray Field.
So far, we're seeing Charleston defend really with a line of 5 with Van Schaik and Bolt dropping into the 3 center backs. Defending in numbers, but they're playing a high line. They're going to have to be careful with that with Carlton and Carranza and Kunga all looking for that opportunity to get out on the break.
Frustrating so far?
No, I think both teams are just settling in. Charleston's, starting to dictate the match just a little bit, making it difficult for Atlanta to play out of the back. Atlanta's young guys are going to have to figure out how to beat this veteran squad in Charleston.
Kendall Moulin, Wheeler-Amanu playing catch all the way over. Edwards and Metcalf. Mikey Ambrose. Give and go with Carlton looked at. Nice idea. But Skylar Thomas will clear. Looking for Svaneson. Guarded by Edwards. Metcalf heads it over. ATL UTD2 will start over again.
Edwards won that initial header on Svaneson. Great test for the academy player.
And I know going forward, we mentioned in the open about questions that need to be answered. And this is another one. How did these young guys respond in situations like this?
Conway and Edwards are coming in, fresher than some of the other guys, so we'll see what they have in the tank. But they're going to have to use their soccer brains a little bit tonight to deal with these veterans from Charleston.
Conway and Carlton playing a game of catch, sent in with the right, easy pickup Kuzminski. Van Schaik shakes off Kunga. I guess I should have said Van shakes off Kunga. Going for the quick pun.
Nice.
Out of bounds, and it will go to ATLU TD2 on the throw-in.
That will open up Atlanta eyes a little bit when you see Kuzminski struggle with the distribution. I wonder if ATLU TD2 is going to line up the press a little bit more now that they've seen that.
Van Schaik, Anunga, and Hackshaw out of bounds. Once again, you see that pressure there with Kendall Moulin, with Carranza, and with Lagos Kunga forcing a throw now for the home side. Kunga switching. Mikey Ambrose. Carlton looking for it, asking for it, gets it, circles back. And he'll go big switch, looking for Wheeler Amanu. Miles Robinson. Kendall Edwards. And Metcalf. Carranza passes in between two players with the side spin, but picked up. Here comes Kunga forward. Pass into Carlton. He's got access. Can he get around Kuzminski and put it inside netting?
Great ball to spring Andrew Carlton from Lagos Kunga. Kuzminski did enough, though. Kuzminski did enough. It wasn't a save, but he was able to force Carlton out wide. Carlton had no angle, puts it into the side netting.
First deep opportunity for ATLU TD2 comes just as we turn to minute number 12. Once again, John Nelson, Jason Longshore here with you from the Proving Ground. And a shout out to the folks at the Alley in Charleston with their viewing party this evening, keeping an eye on things from the Battery. Thanks for being a part of the process, however you're accessing us this evening. Skylar Thomas, Bolt, Ambrose.
Great move from Bolt.
Wild, out of the double team, out of bounds, stays with the Battery.
We've seen it with the first team with Atlanta United often where they press in packs right there. Bolt beats the first player, but there's two more to close him down immediately.
High throw in, trying to post up. Ends up with ATLU TD2, trying to figure out what to do with it. Carlton tries to work his way down the far sideline, loses control out of bounds, going one-on-one against Skylar Thomas.
And Skylar Thomas knows Andrew Carlton. Andrew Carlton has spent time in Charleston on loan from Atlanta United. There's a lot of players in this match who know each other fairly well. Miles Robinson played with the Battery for a few matches last season as well.
And you mentioned that in the handshake line. It was the two of the guys who were toward the end, Carlton and the Tulagera, sharing the handshakes as well.
A lot of battles on the training ground over in Charleston last 2 years.
Bolt looking, Svaneson chests it. Sent over to Nico Carreau, pressure from Tulagera, now pressure from Van Schaik. Little chip forward, Kunga, Hackshaw and Van Schaik on him. What can Guerra do? Sends it into the middle of it all. Left foot, blocked. And they'll call the whistle there on the push from behind on Taylor Mueller.
That's great work from Jackson Conway with his team under pressure. He was isolated, had to try to hold that up and look for help or earn the foul, and he does.
And if I'm not mistaken, Conway has family here tonight, yeah?
He does. We were talking to Atlanta United Academy director Tony Annan before the match, and Jackson's grandparents arrived just in time to get here. Didn't know he was going to be in the starting lineup, but they're here at Coolray Field tonight.
Battery with possession, attempted pass. Kicked out of bounds here in the middle of minute 14. One other game going on right now in the USL. It's Penn FC and Nashville SC. They're going at it. We'll have updates on that one as we go here in the evening. Joust with Bolt and Mikey Ambrose. Goes to round number 2, goes to round number 3. There's Todd Bryan Anunga. Skylar Thomas tries to loop it in with the right, too much.
You see a little bit of what Charleston's going to try to do as the match wears on. Todd Bryan Anunga has really become a focal point for this Battery squad in the midfield. Tried to sneak forward there. No one picked him up. The ball was overhit, but watch out if Charleston looks for that again later.
Hackshaw on the defense, sends it out of bounds. Van Schaik can't get there in time, so throw in ATL UTD2. Conway trying to chest it to the middle of things. Transition back and forth. Atula Guerra. Guarded by Metcalf. Wild. Sent around. Chested by Wild again, but to the back line, and Kendall Edwards. Edwards back to Careau after Bolt challenges there. Anunga challenges Mikey Ambrose. A couple of 22s going at it. Jackson Conway posting up on Taylor Mueller. Flicked forward. Guerra, Wild, and Metcalf. And ATL UTD2 settles. Careau and Edwards here in minute 16, scoreless. Once again, a couple of opportunities for ATL UTD2. The one into the side netting by Andrew Carlton, the best chance so far for them. The Battery been trying to work from the edges and get it into the box. Nico Careau's had one pickup so far. Carranza trying to work some action with Wheeler Amanu. Lagos Kunga looking for the switch. Carlton asking for it, sending it over to Ambrose. Guarded by Bolt. Works it with the left and corner. First corner of the night for ATL UTD2.
Atlanta starting to find some opportunities on the edges. Wheeler Amanu and Ambrose are starting to find some space. As Charleston's team gets narrow with that box midfield and the three center backs, it's down to Van Schaik and Bolt to really defend a lot of 1v1 and even 2v1 opportunities. Putting a lot of stress on them tonight.
Andrew Carlton with the right into the box, headed out by Arambola. Nice work by Guerra and Anunga trying to do a 1-2 to send it forward. But it ends up going backwards, last touched by the Battery.
Wheeler Amanu got in the way of that Anunga pass, looking for Guerra on the break.
And Kunga will send it all the way back to Miles Robinson. Metcalf around the horn, Kendall Edwards. And back to Nico Careau. Battery pressing, coming forward in numbers. You see Van Schaik cheating there against Wheeler Amanu, just absolutely pressing when he saw the ball coming. Anunga challenging as well, stays with ATL UTD2.
But that's the problem when Van Schaik steps up to press. He has to win it or commit the foul or force it out, because if Lagos Kunga gets out on the run 1v1, that's a bad time for Charleston.
Switch across the board. Edwards, Ambrose keeps it in. Andrew Carlton working on Skylar Thomas. Some handshakes going on. Last off of Carlton, it'll be a deep throw for the Battery.
And Thomas was ready for the move from Carlton, defended it very well, and then earned the throw. Excellent job from the Canadian veteran.
See, and that's when you mentioned that they have all of this time together over the last couple of years. There really aren't any secrets in the playbook when it comes to shimmy and shake.
Not too many. Not too many. There's a lot of players who know each other very well on both teams tonight.
Turn with the right. And it's going to be another corner here on the near side.
Good to see that confidence out of Jackson Conway, looking for the quick turn and shot. A young player, first match at this level. Doesn't look to be too much for him thus far.
Coming in with the left this time, it will be Mikey Ambrose. See where all the tall folks are for Charleston here. And what does Ambrose have in mind? What does ATL UTD2 have in mind? Carlton waiting outside the box at the middle. It's sent in with the left, and just misses wide.
Miles Robinson gets ahead on that, but not able to put it on goal. ATL UTD2 asking for a deflection. They're not going to get it. It's a goal kick for Charleston.
Update with Penn FC in Nashville. They are scoreless. As we are here, as we head toward minute number 20. Rains early, just in time for introductions for players and things like that. All the pomp and circumstance before you go. Then the activity starts. Rain stops. dangerous idea by Wheeler Amanu, picked up by Guerra. And it will stay with the Battery. Van Schaik will have the throw.
Nice recovery from Wheeler Amanu after almost losing that in a bad spot.
Van Schaik looking. Settled down. Hackshaw thought he had to poach to come and get it. Andrew Carlton going on Taylor Mueller. It's 3-on-3. Drop. What's the activity here? Sent over to the right. Lagos Kunga. He's double teamed and he has to chip it. Ends up with Hackshaw, who sends it clear. But stays with the Stripes. Metcalf, Edwards, and Ambrose. Edwards, Svaneson thought about chasing after it. Working forward now. Metcalf in the middle of it. Looking for a little help to Wheeler Amanu. Kendall Moulin with a lot of space. What can he do with it? Now the Battery collapse on it. Arambula sends it forward to Svaneson. Svaneson chased by a couple of ATL UTD2 players. Kendall Edwards wins that battle and sends it forward. Ambrose has Carlton to his left. Slide tackle attempted from behind. Carlton has it, sends it looking for Conway, intercepted by Hackshaw. And it's going to head back the other way with the Battery.
Carlton nearly picked out Conway on the backside.
Picked off, heading back the other way now, Carranza. And Ambrose will settle, sending it back to Kendall Edwards. Robinson. And working forward again. You see Jackson Conway working with the right off of Hackshaw on a throw.
Conway's been productive thus far. He's earning opportunities for his team. He's not afraid to mix it up with the big center backs from Charleston. Very impressed with the academy product so far.
Wheeler Amanu with some quick instructions and some quick encouragement there for Conway. Throw into Carlton, trying to figure out how to juggle out of trouble. Ends up with the Battery and picked off by Carlton away from Atula Guerra. Left foot deflected and a corner.
Play is all for ATL UTD2 right now. Starting to dominate a bit. Charleston having a tough time getting out of their own half.
Quick set on the corner. Carlton on the give and go. Going in on Wild. Shimmy shake, right foot. A bunch of traffic deflected. Kuzminski falls on it.
Great move from Carlton to cut to the right foot in traffic. Possibly even looking for a deflection to see if that can find the back of the net.
And there once again, the short corner sends it out, or the quick corner sends it back out in the give and go with Carlton and the opportunity.
Carlton stayed onside, very aware, but Kuzminski stayed with it. Had it the whole way, didn't get distracted by all the bodies in front of him.
Minute 23, scoreless at the proving ground between Charleston Battery and ATL UTD2, all the way back to Corot. The long road trip for the Battery ends here. Their last 5 matches have been on the road. And how do they respond mentally, knowing that the road trip is over after tonight with the 1-1 draw that they had in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania over the weekend? Jackson Conway.
Nice turn.
Taylor Mueller beaten. What can Conway do? Right foot just missed.
He had some options on the back post, but the youngster not afraid of the moment. Great turn just inside his own half to create that space. Left the defender for dead and goes in to have the go himself.
And it was Taylor Mueller. Activity in that baseball infield. Mueller almost blows a tire. Conway goes through, and then you have the action toward the goal.
He had Carranza, he had Carlton lurking, but Conway was feeling it, wanted to have a go himself. I love the confidence out of the young player so far.
Hear exclusive stories directly from the USL players and USLsoccer.com's From the Pitch, with written and video content that provides unfiltered access and a first-person look into the professional game and players' everyday lives. It's From the Pitch at USLsoccer.com. Lagos Kunga. Todd Bryan Anunga chasing after it. Kendall Edwards, Mikey Ambrose. Ambrose and Carlton have done some stellar work so far in the first half of the first half.
Two guys with experience training together with the first team as well as ATL UTD2.
Carranza gets called for the foul as he and Guerra are chasing after each other. Right now, since we're at the halfway point, what do you think so far?
Both teams really trying to figure each other out. ATL UTD2's had a little bit of the better play in the last 5-10 minutes. You know, but that's okay with Charleston. This is an experienced team. They don't need a lot of the ball. They're going to be dangerous on the direct play over the top. You have to always be conscious of where Svantesson is and especially where Guerra is running off of him.
Sent into the corner of the box, and Bolt will chase over the inline for a corner kick for the Battery.
No, goal kick.
No, goal kick. Okay, cool. Thanks for catching that one.
Looked like that might have come off of Edwards, but Edwards goes up with Svantesson again and throws him off just enough.
Coming back quickly in transition, ATL UTD2. Kunga. And Carranza. Kunga with Hackshaw. Tries to free up Carlton, picked up by Kuzminski.
Movement up top is very good from ATL UTD2. Some cracks starting to form in this midfield for Charleston. Atlanta's finding too much space and able to find these passing alleys.
And we mentioned that this is the longest road trip for the Battery for this season. It was the 5-2 loss at Red Bulls 2 in Harrison, New Jersey, then 2 1-1 draws to Bethlehem Steel at Goodman, and then over the past weekend against Penn FC at FNB, it was 1-1 there as well. Passed too much over the inline. It'll be another goal kick for Nico Carreau. Carreau sending it forward. Skylar Thomas the header. Bolt looking to do something with it, has to send it all the way back to Taylor Mueller, who will yield to Kuzminski, who will send it forward.
Robinson won that header in front of Svantesson.
Arambola and Van Schaik looking to do something with that left foot, ends up with a chip. Headed out of trouble, headed out of traffic, and Carlton was looking for Carranza, just missed it. Anunga intercepts. Bolt with the swim move on Mikey Ambrose, the big right. Carreau, easy pickup.
Svantesson made the near post run that time. Bolt couldn't get it all the way to the back post. Carreau's able to grab that fairly easily.
Kendall Mullen and Edwards. Miles Robinson, Nico Carreau. Back to Edwards, and they'll try it again. Svantesson pressing. Picks it off, right foot, and in the middle there was a lot of activity, a lot of white kits. Guerra thought about it, but tackled away. Sent to Carlton. Here comes transition with Carranza. Carranza finds Kunga. Hackshaw picks him up. Activity on the right. Drives into traffic and just missed.
Nearly curled that in. Lagos Kunga cutting to his favored left foot into traffic. He's not afraid of it. Looks for the curler. Couldn't quite get the bend on it into the post.
Once again, there it is. All the activity and all those bodies, and he bends it with the left.
Don't forget, that play started with a breakdown by Kendall Edwards on Svantesson and Andrew Kendall Mullen with a great tackle at the top of the box to save ATL UTD2.
Heading toward minute 29, still scoreless here at the Proving Ground. Header off the joust, ends up back with Nico Carreau. He'll pick it up and put it back down, send it to Miles Robinson. Wheeler Amanu. Van Schaik picking it up, intercepted by Svantesson. A lot of bodies now sliding, chasing after the ball. Whistle there, foul on Bolt. And he and Mikey Ambrose were going after it.
Play's getting a little loose right now. I don't know if it's the field conditions or just this point in the match. ATL UTD2 with a couple bad turnovers in their own half.
Ambrose, guarded by Wild, sends it into the middle of things. Carranza. Worked a switch with Kunga, now going give and go with Wheeler Amanu. Guarded by Van Schaik, sends it backwards to Miles Robinson. Edwards available, and he ends up with it. Over to Ambrose, and they'll start on the far again. Carlton running along. Now he'll work with the right. Activity, Kunga available in the box. Does he see him? No, sends it to Wheeler Amanu. Metcalf. And they'll work it around again. Carranza and Anunga. And a foul there called.
A little reckless from Anunga there on Carranza. Carranza's starting to find his place in this game. We've normally seen him out on the wing. He's playing as a number 10 today. Starting to dictate things a little bit. We're seeing him look a little more dangerous. Another young player for ATL UTD2, 18 years old, but he had some professional experience last year with North Carolina FC.
Now, getting into this a little bit, some of the younger players who are right now playing for ATL UTD2, some of the younger ages, what are we talking about here?
Well, Jackson Conway and Kendall Edwards are members of the U17 Academy team.
Into the box, headed away. Speaking of Edwards. Well, Taylor Mueller there. Carlton. Kunga. Left foot. Headed out by Skylar Thomas, but right to Mikey Ambrose. Ambrose double team, tries to work his way through it. Doesn't happen. Left foot clear.
Just a reset from Charleston there. ATL UTD2 wants to keep the pressure on.
So we're talking academy players. We're talking 18, 19s as well.
We're talking MLS homegrown players and Andrew Carlton. 21.1 years old, your average age for ATL UTD2 tonight. That actually beats the season average by just a little bit.
Carranza, nice back heel to Carlton, who'll work with the right to go cross. Wheeler Amanu. Picked up by Van Schaik, and they'll have to send it back out. At least that's what the thought was. Send it back in to Carlton, intercepted Anunga. Carlton goes in after it. Metcalf not afraid of Svantesson at all. Svantesson loses control of it. Carranza has Ambrose. Tries to chip it in with the left. Skylar Thomas can't clear. And that hit Andrew Carlton. He's trying to catch his breath a little bit. Svantesson all the way back. And they're going to say it's out of bounds for an ATL UTD2 throw, and Ambrose will start it back again very quickly. Minute 32 from the Proving Ground. Scoreless Charleston Battery here and ATL UTD2. Midweek action here in the USL. Andrew Carlton with the right, deflected it looked like. They're not going to call a deflection. It's going to be a goal kick for Joe Kuzminski.
Carlton turned and fired a little too quickly, not able to get over that one and test Kuzminski.
The USL's official Twitter feed keeps you up to date with news, live game updates, and highlights from around the league 24/7. Follow @USL on Twitter. Kuzminski sends it deep. Robinson won the joust, but it ends up with Van Schaik. Van Schaik sends it in with the left. Svantesson with the right off the post, and a double post, a triple post. Did that go in?
It did. It did. What a turn. What a turn from Ian Svantesson. That's what it takes. Charleston doesn't need a lot of possession. They don't need to do very much in build-up play. You find the big man up top, let him turn and rip one. Double post and in, barely over the line. Counts just the same, and the Battery, even though they haven't had the majority of the play, now have the 1-0 lead.
Double post, it barely goes in, and the triple post as well. That's the first time I think I've seen a triple post count.
It was a bunch of posts, but it hit the net somewhere, and
yes,
it's a goal for Charleston.
Went across the line, and that's all that matters. So we're in toward minute 34, and the Battery with the big action of Ian Svantesson make it 1-0 on the road. Last game in their 4-game road swing. And they'll have their next 5 matches at MUSC Health Stadium, but a big goal on the road to get things started for them. Andrew Carlton sends it in. Deflected, and it's going to be a corner at the far.
Andrew Carlton trying to get that goal back immediately, looking for an angle to shoot. Earns the corner, and they take it quickly.
Sends it in, Ambrose. Trying to spring Carlton again, and they just missed.
It's the second time they look for the short corner, and Carlton stays on side, nearly finds that one 1v1 with Kuzminski.
Want to get exclusive video content and photography from across the USL? Make sure to follow the league's official Instagram account as well. Instagram, look at them at USL Soccer. Kuzminski sends it deep. His minute 35 starts with the Battery up 1-0. Arambola to Bolt. Back to Skylar Thomas, but out of bounds. And Carleton's going to want to look to do a quick throw in with Carranza, and he does. Working on Tom Bryan and Nunga. Back to Metcalf. Sent back in with the left. Available, Jackson Conway just missed.
Conway with a great look at goal there and unable to put it on frame. Bending cross in for Mikey Ambrose with the left boot. Curls it in, picks Conway out on the near post, as we can see. Conway unable to get that ball down and test Kuzminski.
Another near chance for ATL UTD2 here. Had a couple of those. Springing the guys in transition, springing them up front. And speaking of spring, there's Wild and spilled by Corot. But it ends up staying with ATL UTD2.
Able to get enough of it before he came out of the box.
Mikey Ambrose with a lot of space. Carleton waiting for the sprint. Gets the pass. Kunga's available with the right. Does he get there in time? No, picked off by Taylor Mueller. Nicely done.
Let's go back to that Charleston goal real quick. Remember the sequence prior to it where Svantesson was back defending in his own half multiple times to prevent Atlanta United from finding a chance. That's what this big guy can do up top for Charleston. He's not one-dimensional, but when you give him the opportunities, he's dangerous in front of goal.
Flags up on Atula Guerra. You saw Van Schaik try to spring him, couldn't quite do it. And the season of questions. Once again, we've asked this question before. How does a young team respond in a situation like this? And we've seen an early answer with what Jackson Conway did in the box.
Last two matches at home, ATL UTD2 allowed the first goal and had to find a way back to get a result.
Wheeler Romanu looking with the right, sends it into Conway. Conway collapsed upon, but won by Carranza, and they'll try it again. Wheeler Romanu looking for any partner, sends it back to Miles Robinson. Kendall Edwards. Metcalf playing catch. Over to Miles Robinson now. Once again, just working at the back, and you see all the work with the Battery. Wild coming up to press quickly. Back to Corot for the quick reset. Wheeler Romanu. Pressure from behind by Arambola on Kendall Moulin. Kendall Edwards finds Mikey Ambrose. A lot of passes being strung together here by ATL UTD2. Not a whole lot of real estate gained. Carranza around Van Schaik, keeps possession, sends it back toward the middle into Kunga. Was either looking for Carleton or Conway, sent back. Will it go out of bounds? Yes, throw in ATL UTD2.
Charleston comfortable to sit with a line of 5 defensively right now. Van Schaik and Bolt staying at home, making it very difficult for ATL UTD2 to enter the final third.
Ambrose looking for Conway, finds him. Metcalf thought about the switch, had to pull it back. Carleton bumped off the ball and a whistle. Quick start. Ambrose looking for Carleton, picked off Bolt.
Nicely done by Jay Bolt.
Metcalf tracks it down, Kendall Moulin. Looking on the right, too much for Wheeler Romanu, but he holds it down for Lagos Kunga. Thought about driving on Van Schaik, right foot, deflected corner.
See if they look for that short corner again. It's on the other side, but Ambrose is coming to take it. It'll be an in-swinger. Looks like Carleton's trying to pick a spot at the top of the 18, looking for the rebound or something directly to him.
Did that the first time that Ambrose tried to send it in with the left from this side. Short ball, Bolt heads it out. Ambrose now at the near. Guarded by Arambola. Left foot in, opportunity, headed away. And a Rambola clears.
Taylor Mueller heads that away just in front of Kendall Edwards.
Metcalf and Miles Robinson now as we're in minute number 40. Double post goal by Ian Svantesson. The iron was kind that time for the Battery. They're up 1-0 here. ATLU TD2 has had their chances, had a couple of opportunities. Just haven't been able to put it into the back of the net to equalize. Jackson Conway with some opportunities in his start up top. Anunga chasing Metcalf, have to go all the way back to Nico Caro. Intercepted that time. Bolt now coming in after the pass from Anunga. Slides down. Caro will pick it up. Quickly to Wheeler Amanu. Kendall Moulin. Carlton. The far side was there, didn't see it, so they're going to have to try it again. There's Kendall Edwards. There's Ambrose. Bolt on the back track. Outside of the foot. Give and go with Carlton. Left foot Ambrose and another corner.
Great combination play from Andrew Carlton and Mikey Ambrose on the far side. This time Carlton's going to take the corner kick.
Looks like this one's going to go in the box. Jackson Conway on the sprint. Goes through a couple of bodies and sent out by Atula Guerra.
Conway with the hard run to the near post, then let it go. Nearly found Carranza or Kendall Edwards.
Once again, the opportunity's there for ATLU TD2, just missing by a half step or a half stride or so.
Charleston's comfortable with where the match is right now. They defend very well. Veteran group. They're not worried about all of this possession from ATLU TD2.
Because all it is just going from side to side. There's no activity, and there's not a whole lot of activity going forward.
No, the runs are there. It's not even that you're not seeing that from ATLU TD2. It's just Charleston's defense is standing very tall and preventing opportunities.
Nice outside of the foot. Ambrose with the left sends it in. Carlton lets it go. Van Schaik header clear.
Just over Andrew Carlton there.
Anunga keeps it in play. Nicely done by Tom Bryan Anunga. Metcalf ends up with it for ATLU TD2. So let's see what they can do in this possession as we head toward minute 43. Atula Guerra, Anunga with him. Wild off to his right. Anunga goes wide, gives to Bolt. Got caught between ideas in the pass, but the give and go is there. The cute little chip picked off by Kendall Edwards. Bolt chasing. Caro quickly over.
Excellent from Caro to play out of that.
Looking for Mikey Ambrose, he's there. Anunga staring squarely. Working side to side, far to near this time. Wheeler Amanu. Van Schaik thinking about it, looking to spring Carlton. Doesn't happen. Goal kick.
Wheeler Amanu overhit the pass. Carlton's not catching up to that one, especially through Van Schaik and Hackshaw.
Visit the USL's Instagram story every Monday evening to watch Kelsey Steele's hat trick as she breaks down 3 key talking points from the previous week's action. That's hat trick in the USL's Instagram. About a minute and 40 seconds toward the end of the first half. Not anticipating a whole lot of extra time added on. Nice save by Lagos Kunga to keep it going forward. Guarded by Van Schaik. Wheeler Amanu. 1 minute of stoppage will be added. Let's see what happens with Ambrose. Sends it in with the left. Easy pickup Kuzminski as Conway tried to make his run a little late.
Ambrose not able to bend that around to find Jackson Conway. Kuzminski well off his line to grab that.
And he'll send it deep with the right boot. Atula Guerra in the joust there. Picked up by Wheeler Amanu. And Miles Robinson to Kendall Edwards. Mikey Ambrose. Kendall Moulin, Kendall Edwards. Robinson. Wheeler Amanu. Kept by Van Schaik from doing anything. Bodies hit the turf. Todd Brian Anunga picks it up. What's he going to do with it? Is he going to send it to Bolt or keep it himself? Sends it long looking for Svaneson. Too much. Picked up by Nico Caro.
Nice defensive work from Gordon Wild there. Remember, he's on loan from Atlanta United. He was a second-round pick in the recent MLS Super Draft. Generation Adidas player. Started his college career at USC Upstate. Had a rough final season at Maryland. He's got a lot to prove tonight with the Atlanta United brass in the building.
Carlton over. Wheeler Amanu. Thinking about Kunga. It's there. Hackshaw. Kunga thinks about the left. Thinks about it a second time. Sends it to the top of the box looking for Carlton. Chested down and cleared by Skylar Thomas.
Into stoppage time now.
Edwards Metcalf. Captain sends it over. Now it's all the way over with Ambrose again. Looking to work with the left, deflected by Bolt. Sent up in the air by Hackshaw. Guerra posts up on Metcalf, comes down with it, and Hackshaw clears. Svaneson and Miles Robinson, and a whistle there. Quick restart by ATL UTD2 there. Carranza. Miles Robinson. Metcalf. And that'll do it. 45 minutes in the books from the proving ground, and a lot of opportunities for ATL UTD2, but there was one opportunity that went in the back of the net, and it was the Charleston Batteries.
And one opportunity was all Ian Svaneson needed. The 6'6" target forward, able to turn the defender and get a shot, ricocheting off both posts, but finding the back of the net.
When we come back, it'll be first half highlights, stats, everything else going on in the USL. The Blake Downs just around the corner. We'll keep an eye on everything from the proving ground. At the break, Charleston 1, ATL UTD 2, nothing.
I knew your name before you did. I knew your fears, your hopes.
Thanks, Abe. Thanks, Abe.
I knew what you could accomplish, how great you could be. And I knew just where to take you when you got hurt.
You'll be back out there in no time.
For physical therapists and certified athletic trainers who only work with young athletes, there's Children's Healthcare of Atlanta Sports Medicine. Moms know.
There are never enough hours in the day, so you can't let sniffles, strep, or aches and pains slow you down. But finding great healthcare that fits your schedule can be tricky. With Piedmont Quick Care at Walgreens, you can get great same-day care right around the corner. There are 27 locations and counting, all with extended hours and most open 7 days a week. You can book an appointment online to get in, out, and on your way. Visit piedmont.org/quickcare now to learn more. Piedmont Quick Care at Walgreens, one stop to better.
Los accidentes suceden sin avisar y conseguir el tratamiento médico que usted o un familiar merece puede resultar difícil si no cuenta con la ayuda de un buen abogado. Por eso nos dedicamos a pelear por sus derechos, asegurándonos que usted no solo reciba la compensación que merece, sino que también reciba la mejor atención médica. Le atendemos en español. 404-888-8888. Bader Law Firm, comprometidos con usted y su familia.
I knew your name before you did. I knew your fears, your hopes. I knew what you could accomplish, how great you could be. And I knew just where to take you when you got hurt.
You'll be back out there in no time.
For physical therapists and certified athletic trainers who only work with young athletes, there's Children's Healthcare of Atlanta Sports Medicine. Moms know.
Welcome back to Coolray Field, the proving ground. 45 minutes in the books, 45 around the corner. And Jason Longshore, John Nelson here. We'll take a look at the first half highlights, and really it's, I guess the word really is opportunity when it comes to what we're going to be seeing here in just a second. And a lot of the early opportunities coming from ATL UTD2, from a lot of different faces.
Yeah, a lot of the young talent for ATL UTD2 taking their chances tonight, but not able to find the back of the net. Andrew Carlton with the first one, short corner, stays on side. Great awareness from Carlton, but he's unable to find the back of the net. Second one, Jackson Conway, the academy player, great turn at midfield and the run, unable to put the final product on net. That's been the story here. Lagos Kunga, as we see now, shots off target, playing very well, the young talent, but unable to get that final product and get the early lead.
And then the double post.
Then Ian Svantesson. What can you say about the 6'6" target forward? He doesn't need a lot of the ball. All he needs is a sliver of opportunity, and he finds it. Svantesson off the net, off the post, off the other post, into the net.
2 posts hit the third post after it cleared the line, so that was 1-0 for Charleston to give them the advantage. A couple of different looks at it there, and then once again, one more opportunity for ATL UTD2.
Yeah, Jackson Conway with another opportunity, gets picked out on the cross, unable to get the header on frame. It's been an impressive debut for Conway, but he's had these chances, hasn't been able to test Kuzminski yet. We see that veteran presence from Charleston where they don't need many chances, they don't need much of the ball, they're able to be comfortable.
All right, so then we take a look at all the numbers from the first half. Is there any particular stat that comes out to you? I know that the one that stands out really is time of possession, but that one doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. It's 74-26.
No, it doesn't. I mean, that's Charleston's game. They don't need the ball, especially in this, 3-6-1 or 5-4-1, depending on what we want to call it. They're able to be dangerous playing direct out of the back. They don't need much more possession than that. They're still able to be dangerous.
And obviously you look at the duels, the jousts go to ATL UTD2 at 60-40. And then obviously you look at also the duels won in the air, 57% go to the Charleston Battery as well. Once again, everybody kind of had to duck in a little bit because of the weather, but they're coming back out. And once the 17s showing out right now for life at the Proving Ground. And right now what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the plays of the week from the perspective of one of the Tampa Bay Rowdies. It's time for the Blake Down, episode 4. So, Abe, if you would please, Blake Down, go ahead, give it to me.
Welcome to the 4th episode of the Blake Down. Once again, I've handpicked my plays of the week, and I hope you guys enjoy it.
Ball sent in. Cross the way, team save, keeps it 1-0.
This clip is both attacking and defensive. You see on the Orange County counter-attack here, he does extremely well to carry his run forward, and he gives the defense of San Antonio a lot of problems. And then if you flip it now and you look at his recovery run, it's fantastic. He tracks the immediate run of the attacker, and then he follows it through and continues to back up his keeper on the line. And it's a fantastic goal line clearance, and it keeps them in the game after 60 minutes.
Hope out. Back to Sari. Chip toward the back post. Felix Chaykum, and an early goal for S2.
The reason I've picked this clip is not just the finish and the header, but also if you watch Sari's assist. He backs up his winger here, and he creates himself an extremely good angle to give that cross. And technically it's an extremely tough pass to make. When the ball's coming at you and you've got to give a 90-degree angle on it and cross it at the back post, it's extremely difficult because you have to think about all sorts at that stage. You have to think about the keeper coming to catch it, but then also giving the loft to get it over the defender and down. And it's a fantastic assist, and that's the reason it's in my play of the week.
For O-line, Von Williams. Stepped up big, his number was called. Look at this, perfectly timed. It's Suni Saad. Saad lines him up.
Suni Saad's goal for Indy 11, for me, was created purely by Iose's pass here. When the ball's played into Iose, he takes a couple steps back, and that gives him the opportunity to get his head up and see Saad's movement. And it's a fantastic driven pass over the defense, and it's a fantastic finish into the corner with good disguise.
Stability in terms of paying so that players from the Caribbean, players from South America.
This clip is one of my favorite ones. The athletic trainer for St. Louis, is just so casual with it. I mean, he takes it out the air one-handed as if he's not done anything about it. And he's caught it and throw back, just dead casual. And I think he's amazed every single player on the bench, including all his players. So as you can see from the Blake Down this week, it's not just players that get on, it's also athletic trainers. So keep that in mind for future games. I hope you've enjoyed my hand-picked plays from the week. on the 4th episode of The Breakdown. I look forward to seeing you next week.
Breakdown, give it to me, episode 4. Thanks to everybody back at HQ for giving us the plays of the week through the eyes of a Tampa Bay Rowdy. Once again, heading toward the second half here at the Proving Ground. Charleston is leading ATL UTD2 by the score of 1-0. Let's take a look now at what is coming up around the corner. We've got one game going on right now, 65th minute, Penn FC and Nashville FC there, scoreless. When you look at the upcoming schedule here in the week, there's actually 2 games, Jason, that are happening tomorrow when it comes to midweek play in the USL. Richmond Kickers, Toronto FC 2, and Rio Grande Valley FC and Orange County SC, both tomorrow night. But then Friday, you know how I love some hashtag Vegas After Dark. Las Vegas Lights and San Antonio FC. You have to watch Las Vegas. It's just a fun team to watch. There could be llamas on the field. Yes, there could be llamas, and and you have coaches driving motorcycles too. So it's another go-round of Charleston After Dark. Always good. 11 o'clock Eastern time on your Friday with San Antonio FC. Let's take a look at what's going on the ESPN3 schedule, the USL Game of the Week. Once again, it's Charleston After Dark in San Antonio. That's the first game in the grid. That'll be this weekend on Friday. Then you look at a couple of interesting games down the line, especially one here in the Eastern Conference at round 2. Yeah, that Indy 11 FC Cincinnati match. You know, these are two teams who've been looking at each other for a while now, and this is the first time they get to face off at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis. Excited about that one. Flip side in the West, you get the next 2 there, Fresno FC and Rio Grande Valley FC. That one's on the 9th. Then 3 weeks later, the tail end of May, St. Louis and Phoenix Rising. St. Louis and Phoenix Rising. We'll see if we see Didier Drogba in that one on his farewell tour. And then FCC takes on Bethlehem Steel. That one is Game 5 of the ESPN schedule set for June the 13th. Now, when discussing the blemish that does not exist in the middle of the standings when it comes to wins, losses, and draws, 3 teams in the Eastern Conference with that 0, one of them here. And the one here has some work to do in the second half to keep it. But the Pittsburgh Riverhounds and Louisville City FC have remained undefeated so far this season. So tough to do when you're a month plus in. These are the teams really setting the pace in the East. Pittsburgh, tremendous defense so far. Louisville City, remember, was here at the Proving Ground, and it was a 1-1 draw over the weekend, ATL UTD2, with that 0 in the middle. But as you say, they've got some work to do in the second half. We'll get to the second half in just a little bit. When we come back, we'll let you know what Jason thinks might need to be done when it comes to the second half. Adjustments and things like that as we get ready for the second half here at the Proving Ground schedule coming up as well. We'll be back to the Proving Ground to finish up halftime, get you ready for the second half. It's Charleston 1, ATL UTD 2 0. Stick and stay. We'll be right back after this.
Los accidentes suceden sin avisar y conseguir el tratamiento médico que usted o un familiar merece puede resultar difícil si no cuenta con la ayuda de un buen abogado. Por eso nos dedicamos a pelear por sus derechos, asegurándonos que usted no solo reciba la compensación que merece, sino que también reciba la mejor atención médica. Le atendemos en español. 404-888-8888. Bader Law Firm, comprometidos con usted y su familia.
There are never enough hours in the day, so you can't let sniffles, strep, or aches and pains slow you down. But finding great healthcare that fits your schedule can be tricky. With Piedmont Quick Care at Walgreens, you can get great same-day care right around the corner. There are 27 locations and counting, all with extended hours and most open 7 days a week. You can book an appointment online to get in, out, and on your way. Visit piedmont.org/quickcare now to learn more. Piedmont Quick Care at Walgreens, one stop to better.
I knew your name before you did. I knew your fears, your hopes. I knew what you could accomplish, how great you could be. And I knew just where to take you when you got hurt.
You'll be back out there in no time.
For physical therapists and certified athletic trainers who only work with young athletes, there's Children's Healthcare of Atlanta Sports Medicine. Moms know.
Los accidentes suceden sin avisar y conseguir el tratamiento médico que usted o un familiar merece puede resultar difícil si no cuenta con la ayuda de un buen abogado. Por eso nos dedicamos a pelear por sus derechos, asegurándonos que usted no solo reciba la compensación que merece, sino que también reciba la mejor atención médica. Le atendemos en español. 404-888-8888. Bader Law Firm, comprometidos con usted y su familia.
Welcome back to Coolray Field, getting ready for the second half. Players are trickling out now when it comes to getting ready for the second 45 minutes. Let's take a peek and see what's coming up around the corner for both of these sides. After today, for ATL UTD2, there's a lot of ats on the page. 7 of their next 8 are on the road. Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, Ottawa. They come back for the one home game between now and the middle of June on May the 16th. That's against Toronto FC2. Then 4 more on the road, a quick turn to Louisville City on the 19th, and it's Tampa and North Carolina FC Tampa and Indy 11. That's a big run coming up for ATL UTD2. On the flip side for Charleston, it's a lot of action at MUSC Health Stadium. 4 on the road means you get 5 at home. April 28th, it starts off with the Rowdies. Then you've got Charlotte, Bethlehem, Ottawa, and Nashville before you have to do a quick turn yourself at the end of May for Indy 11 at Lucas Oil Stadium, and then it all picks up from there. As we get ready for the second half, Jason, what are the adjustments? I know you were peeking at some other numbers, but what other stuff what were you looking at when we were getting ready for the second 45?
Scott Donnelly has some decisions to make for ATL UTD2. If they're going to keep with the crossing game, and Atlanta United 2 has been very active in beating Charleston on the wings, putting in crosses. Jackson Conway hasn't been able to get on the end of them. You have a guy like John Gallagher on the bench who has 3 goals this season, 2 of them on headers. You also have Brandon Vasquez, who could be making his ATL UTD2 debut. He's been injured with the first team. We haven't seen him since the first match of the MLS regular season. It's going to be an opportunity for him to start to test that fitness.
So we'll see what happens here. Looks like everybody is starting out with the same 11s that they started with in the first 45. Once again, Jason Longshore, John Nelson, thanks for hanging out with us and accessing us however you are doing so. Shout out to everybody at the Alley down in Charleston who is watching their battery here right now with a 1-0 lead. As we get ready for the second 45. Coming in, when you look at the Eastern Conference standings, ATL UTD2 coming in with 6 points, Charleston Battery with 5. Going 9th and 12th here in the Eastern Conference, in the conference filled with 16. Right now, Blue City on top with 13 points, 1 point behind them, the Tampa Bay Rowdies, and then Red Bulls 2 with 10 points. Everybody else in single digits when it comes to points in the Eastern Conference.
One thing to keep in mind with Charleston, when you look at their bench, there's not a lot of defensive options on their bench. Lots of attacking options. Patrick Okonkwo is on loan from Atlanta United, is there. But not any true defenders, so you're going to go with this unit of 5 with Van Schaik, Hackshaw, Mueller, Thomas, and Bolt to see this one out.
Svaneson sends it back to Hackshaw to start things going here in the second 45 minutes. Charleston going from left to right. As you picture things, as everything is now reversed, and a shot way over by Arambola. It'll be a goal kick for Nico Caro and ATL UTD2.
Quick shot from Arambola. Charleston again, they're going to play through Svaneson and see what happens off of his head.
Kendall Edwards starting with it, 30 seconds in here. Metcalf. Kendall Moulin. Carlton sent forward. Give and go, Wheeler Amanu. Van Schaik chasing Kunga. Sent into the box over the inline. Goal kick. Which teams are hitting peak performance in the USL? Find out every Monday afternoon when the USLsoccer.com power rankings are released to see where your team sits after its most recent results. Sent back in by Kuzminski. Svaneson misses it. Miles Robinson grabs it. Joust, round 2. Carlton with the chest, picked up by Wild.
Tough pass there from Carlton, not giving a teammate a chance to get on the end of it.
Skylar Thomas directing traffic to try to send things to the far. Hackshaw and Van Schaik end up doing so, but it's picked off by Kunga. And it's going to stay with ATL UTD2.
Good defensive work from Wheeler Amanu to poke that clear.
Call a foul instead of the throw, so it'll be a set by Metcalf. Let's see what he sees. A lot of action going on at the top of the box. Carlton hanging out outside the box. Looking for a run to set something up. Let's see what Metcalf sees. Carranza comes forward. Over to Carlton. Carlton sends in with the right, looking for a run on the give and go. intercepted by the Battery, and here they come.
Took too long to develop.
Well done to work it all the way back to Nico Carreau, out winning the race, but great pressure there by Wild to force Carreau into a decision. A lot of anxious moments in the box. A pass just kind of there. Kendall Edwards grabs it. Carranza loses the battle with Bolt. But Skylar Thomas will kind of help things along a little bit.
Carreau stuck in possession there a bit with the pressure from Charleston, but Kendall Edwards bailed him out.
Ambrose, Metcalf. Kendall Moulin. Robinson. I thought that the Battery thought that had gone out of bounds. Officials didn't call it that way. Edwards and Metcalf. Miss hit by Metcalf, picked off, but once again, ATL UTD2 comes up with it. Carlton. A lot of hand fighting there, hangs on to it.
Nice strength from Carlton there. That was a knock on him as he first started, getting into the pro game, was how would he be able to handle those situations?
Not a lot behind that Kendall Moulin pass, picked off, and here come the Battery. Wild. Bolt saves it. Sends it in with the right. Heads go up. Edwards down in the box after jousting with Van Schaik, trying to go after that ball. Hackshaw sends it in, picked off. Wheeler Amanu trying to spring Kunga. Hackshaw ends up with it. He'll work the left. Van Schaik, give and go, too much. Metcalf and Kendall Moulin. Here comes Carlton. Once again picked off by the Charleston Battery.
Well read by Taylor Mueller.
Slide tackle attempted. Good work by Van Schaik to keep it with the Battery in possession. Back to Skylar Thomas and Bolt. Sent ahead. Flags up.
That last cross in from Charleston was Miles Robinson, who was able to get in front of Van Schaik on the back post with a header.
And as we go here in the second half, what I'd like for you to do is kind of get your report card ready for all the young guys, considering we had mentioned the age being 21 and a tick when you're taking the starting 11 together. When you look at the young talent, the academy talent, just what have you seen as we go further in the match, as they continue to grow and evolve and be a part of the process for ATL UTD, for Atlanta United, and tonight for ATL UTD2. Lagos Kunga, good move on Hackshaw. Availability, hit the post. Guerra grabs it, and here come the Battery the other way just to clear. Big work on the flip side. It's one-on-one and in the back of the net. Gordon Wild wins the race, puts it past Carreau, and it's 2-0 just like that in transition.
That's how quick things can turn here at the Proving Ground. Lagos Kunga, we saw that type of run in Charlotte with his goal of the week. The post denies him. The Charleston Battery immediately turn the tables, play long, find Ian Svantesson. Svantesson heads it down, finds the onrush in Gordon Wild. We talked about it in the first half. Gordon Wild has a lot to prove tonight.
Yes, he does.
With a lot of people that control his soccer playing future in the house. They have to be impressed with that one.
Well done putting it past Nico Carreau. So now it's it's a 2-goal deficit now for ATL UTD2 here in the 52nd. And let's see how ATL UTD2 goes up against the side which you've analyzed and you've said in the first half, very comfortable with 5 at the back.
They're fine being under pressure. It doesn't scare them. It doesn't concern them. This might.
Kunga with Carlton, lays it off, gives it back. Kunga the 360, trying to figure out how to get free. Skylar Thomas in there, Anunga in there. Guerra ends up with it as the ball ricochets out and cleared. Throw in headed by Hackshaw. Kendall Edwards. Kendall Moulin. Mikey Ambrose. Playing catch with Carranza. Now the Kendalls playing catch. What happens with the right? Sent to the near. Ambrose, give and go. Tries to hop over Skylar Thomas. He does. The ball gets saved deep in the corner. Good work, Skylar Thomas, to keep that in. Flags up.
It's a great tackle initially. Then the presence of mind to keep it in.
Carranza off the throw. Carlton back to Kendall Moulin and Metcalf. Miles Robinson. Lagos Kunga. Dribbles out of trouble, out of bounds, goes to the battery.
First time ATL UTD2 has trailed by more than 1 goal. We've talked about it in the last couple of matches where they've had to come from behind. Now it's an even bigger mountain to climb.
Let's see how they handle it here. With possession, minute 54, sent all the way back to Nico Carreau for the reset. And Kendall Edwards. Kendall Moulin. Miles Robinson. Wheeler Amanu, Kunga, and all the way back here to the middle. A lot of different sets of cleats touching the ball so far. Ambrose guarded by Bolt. Metcalf. Kunga trying to spring and turn on Atula Guerra, doesn't happen. And Guerra trying to get ahead of steam, picked off. Nicely done there to keep Atula Guerra from getting into 3rd and 4th gear.
Good hustle from Jack Metcalf to cut that off. Lagos Kunga is struggling to find his place in this. It's such a compressed field right now. Those are the types of runs we need.
Pass by Carlton and a lot of bodies as the ball ends up rolling to Joe Kuzminski. Hackshaw letting it go. A lot of activity to try to get it there, but Bolt here at the near. Big right foot, availability in the box. Picked off well by Miles Robinson with the header. And Kendall Moulin now looking.
These are the opportunities ATL UTD2 has to take. They have to quicken the pace at times when Charleston does stretch out and not compact the field so much. It's really tough for the Atlanta players to find space.
Carranza looking for Kunga in the far corner, finds him. Hackshaw had to backtrack to make sure he was there. Carlton looking to drive. And it looks like it went off of Todd Bryan and Nunga last for the corner. Carlton will take it.
Back to what I was saying about Kunga. He's struggling to find the space between the lines right now because Charleston is keeping the field so compact. Every touch, he's having to play backwards or go backwards for space on the dribble.
Mikey Ambrose will take, sends it in with the left, headed out by Bolt. Metcalf lets the ball settle, sends it in with the right, chested. Right foot off of Svaneson, and another corner.
Conway with another shot, this one blocked out high. Ambrose to take the corner.
Round 2. Here as we get toward minute 57, 2-0 Charleston Battery in this one. Left foot a little higher this time. Through the hands of Kuzminski, through the box, but Skylar Thomas will grab it and send it clear.
Kuzminski's able to get one punch to that pretty strongly. Take that off of the ATL UTD2 attacker.
Metcalf. Kendall Edwards. Mikey Ambrose. Carranza guarded by Bolt, double team now. Pushed off the ball, and the Battery have it. Good work by Atula Guerra working his way down. Putting Kendall Edwards in circles. Big right foot saved by Carreau.
That's what Atula Guerra can do to you. The youngster Kendall Edwards struggling to stay on his feet. He kicks the post in frustration. Atula Guerra, 1v1, one of the best players in the USL. Great opportunity there, saved by Carreau.
That means that Wild will come here for the corner here at the near side. Guerra trying to shake Carlton. Offered to take it short. Wild sends it in with the left, headed clear. Anunga wins the joust. Carlton ends up with it. Has Carranza to his left. Hackshaw gets it from behind. No whistle, and the Battery have it. Once again, slide tackle. Changes possession. Can Ambrose save it? No.
Big play from Hackshaw on Carlton as he's looking for the break. You asked about that question early with playing on short rest.
Yes.
Seeing the heavy legs start to take an effect on some players now.
Anunga here as we head toward minute 59 and the Battery up 2-0. Both Svanteson and Guerra calling for it at the top of the box. But Van Schaik sends it back to Hackshaw and all the way back one more time.
Multiple Charleston Battery players warming up on the far side, and noticed one Atlanta player warming up. Pretty sure that was Brandon Vasquez.
Ambrose and Anunga going after it, the dueling double deuces, and ends up being another corner for the Battery.
Anunga earns the corner, playing that off of Ambrose's shin. Another opportunity for Gordon Wild on the service.
Let's see what Wild's thinking about here. Van Schaik cutting toward, Guerra cutting toward. Wild gets it back, sends it in with the left off the ground. Easy pickup for Mikey Ambrose. And off the joust, Carlton ends up with it. Metcalf, and clear. But Bolt sends it back in with the right off the diagonal. Svanteson marked by Robinson. And coming out of the mess is Wheeler Amanu. A lot of space available in the middle. What can he do with it? Gives to Carlton. Carranza to his left. Slide tackle. Nicely done by Bolt. Nicely done by Bolt. Ambrose comes in from behind there on Wild. Body's hitting the turf. Metcalf with it now. Where's he going to go? He'll go to Carranza. Working with the right through traffic. Easy pickup by Kuzminski, and he hangs on to it.
Nice quick turn and shot from Jose Carranza. Not a lot of space there. Quick release. See, after the scrappy play on the far side, it falls to Jose Carranza, and he doesn't hesitate. Immediately looks to catch Kuzminski by surprise.
A couple of players in the screen for the Battery, but it ends up in the hands of Kuzminski, and back come the Battery. This one will be wide right, and it looks like we're going to get a substitute now. Looks like Brandon Vasquez will be coming in the match for Lagos Kunga. Or it's going to be Jackson Conway. So it'll be Conway out and Vasquez in here in the 62nd.
Pretty sure that was by design. Brandon Vasquez hasn't featured for Atlanta United's first team since the season opener. He's been injured. Get him 30 minutes of action tonight. See how he responds. He could be in the Atlanta United 18 against the Montreal Impact this weekend.
Charleston sub coming in now as well. And that will be the end of the day for Atula Guerra. Atula Guerra now leaving. And Nico Rittmeyer coming in.
The Charleston Battery Academy product. Rittmeyer also played in the PDL with the South Georgia Tormenta.
So Rittmeyer for Guerra for Charleston. Vasquez for Jackson Conway for ATL UTD2. And what'd you like of Jackson Conway this evening?
That's a good 60-minute shift for the Academy player. He did not seem to be overawed by anything that he saw tonight. Had multiple shots, a couple deflected. Good shift, good effort from Conway. Really impressed with him so far. A lot of time for him to develop.
Yes, especially in the family here tonight to see him and to see him start. Once again, the grandparents flying in as we were told the story. It's good to have those kind of family moments here on nights like this.
And now we see how Brandon Vasquez does as a number 9. Generally with the first team, we've seen him out on the right wing. Coming up through his youth career, though, he played as a number 9 with Club Tijuana in Liga MX.
Vasquez off of Hackshaw, and it's going to be a deep ATL UTD throw. A lot of cleats going at it. Van Schaik will clear, but only to the change of possession with Kendall Mullen out of bounds, and the throw now goes over to the Battery. Halfway through minute 63, goal by Svanesen. Goal by Gordon Wild makes it 2-0 for the Charleston Battery here, the last game of their long road swing. This is the last game at home for quite some time for ATLU TD2. 7 of their next 8 on the road, and they've got a 2-goal deficit to try to make up in the next half hour or so for their last home match until May the 16th. And when they leave here, it's Pittsburgh, it's FC Cincinnati, and it's Ottawa.
It's a really tough 3-game stretch.
Carlton, Carranza, Vasquez. Poked from behind by Todd Bryan Anunga, but picked up by Kendall Mullen. He's playing catch again with Kendall Edwards. They'll try it again with Mikey Ambrose. Vasquez and Skylar Thomas. Carranza trying to work with the right, and it ends up too far, goal kick.
Too much for Wheeler Aminu. Charleston starting to control the match a little bit more. ATLU TD2 struggling to create as many opportunities. Charleston starting to deny the crosses in deep. Have to see how Scott Donnelly responds. He has the whole bench warming up now. Who on this bench can unlock the Charleston defense?
And a whistle there with the grappling in from behind. So it'll be a kick for the Battery. Select is the official soccer ball of the USL. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit www.selectsportamerica.com and receive free shipping on orders over $50. Chip with the right. Looking for activity. Arambola. Hackshaw. Taylor Mueller trying to send it forward again. And it ends up going all the way back to Joe Kuzminski.
Nice pressure from Brandon Vasquez to force that errant ball from Kuzminski.
Kendall Mullen chased by Wild. Touched last by ATLU TD2, and Bolt will give you the throw. Once again, posting up defensively. Svanesen, all 6'5" of him, sends it in with the right block by Kendall Edwards in a corner. Sorry, I shortchanged Svanesen by an inch. He's 6'6".
He's shown all 6'6" of that frame thus far tonight.
Let's see what Wild does with the corner and with the left. Flat and just through the goal crease, through the 6 and out the other side.
Hackshaw with the initial header, and Nico Rittmeyer nearly found the far side netting.
And once again, you see Wild with the left, flattens out his cleat, sends it in, and the traffic in front. Just misses to the far, and ATLU TD2 will end up with it again. Ambrose, Carlton, Kendall Edwards. Kendall Mullen, Miles Robinson. Once again, the two Kendalls playing catch. There's Carranza. And Kendall Mullen over to Robinson again. Trying to get some activity over there. Lagos Kunga. Out of the traffic, Carlton. Outside the box at the top, trying to make something happen with the right. A lot of the white kits forcing him to his left. Bumped off the ball, but Kendall Mullen ends back up with it. Metcalf trying to come up with an idea. Once again, a lot of short passes. Carlton off to the side. Ambrose tries to bring it in with the left, knocked out of bounds. Throw in, right foot. Skylar Thomas gets his head in the way, and it's cleared by the Battery defensively. Kendall Edwards trying to chase it, but there's somebody coming. Svantesson again creating havoc at the back line for ATL UTD2.
Well played by Edwards and Robinson there with Svantesson chasing. They didn't get anxious. They handled it well, settled it down.
Vasquez tries to get around Hackshaw, tries to work with the left. Carlton down in the box. Goal kick, no whistle.
Vasquez tries to cut back and look for some space, and he sees Andrew Carlton charging in.
The USL's official Twitter feed keeps you up to date with news, live game updates, and highlights from around the league 24/7. Follow @USL on Twitter. Turn of minute 69. Charleston Battery with a 2-0 lead here. Goal in the first half. Svantesson going double post and having it cross the line. And Gordon Wild with a goal in the 51st to make it 2-0. What can ATL UTD2 here? That's their question for the remaining 20 minutes or so. Carranza to Metcalf. Over to Kunga. Trying to think of something to do with the left. Carranza. Back to Lagos. Metcalf. Into Carranza, trying to cut in from the angle at the box over the in line. And a goal kick.
Charleston backline has been incredibly solid tonight. Really limiting the opportunities for Atlanta to penetrate in the final third and get a clean look at goal. Strong defensive performance from the Battery tonight.
ATL UTD2 looking to sub in John Gallagher at the next opportunity. Have him come in for 20 minutes to see what he can do on offense. There's Mikey Ambrose. Kendall Moulin. Over to Miles Robinson. Kendall Edwards being chased by Svantesson. Bumps him to the ground after the ball is sent through. Ambrose playing catch with Carranza. Vasquez trying to settle and cleared. .360 by Wild while he's got it to get away from Kendall Moulin. Sends it all the way over to the far, and it's 2-on-2 over there. But back come the reinforcements. Flag up. So it looks like when he's allowed to, John Gallagher will be coming in, replacing Lagos Kunga. So in the 71st minute, it's now Gallagher in. And a yellow card that was given to Nico Rittmeyer before the substitution happened.
Opportunity here for John Gallagher to provide a spark off the bench and maybe get on the end of some of these crosses we've been seeing a lot of tonight from ATL UTD2.
Svantesson. And a great run there by Nico Rittmeyer down the far side before Miles Robinson knocks the ball out of bounds. Rittmeyer getting the opportunity to show in space. That's good for him considering coming up through the academies, coming through Tormenta in the PDL. Getting his opportunity now with the Battery. Let's see what ATL UTD2 can do now. Vasquez leaves it for Carlton, sends it over. There's Ambrose and Gallagher. A lot of space in the middle, works the right, big switch. See what happens over on the far. Sent in with the right. And over the goal, goal kick. Want to get exclusive video content and photography from across the USL? Make sure to follow the league's the official Instagram account at USL Soccer on Instagram. Opportunity for the header missed by ATL UTD2 was missed there, and so Wild ends up with it. He's taken down by Kendall Moulin there, and it's going to be an opportunity for a set opportunity for the Battery.
Strong match tonight from Gordon Wild.
As to the point that you've been making from minute one, opportunity for him to shine, and he's had that chance. Sent deep into the corner and kept in play, in with the left, headed clear, Miles Robinson. Once again, ATL UTD2 trying to get out of trouble. Carlton guarded by Anunga. Mikey Ambrose. He's got space. 4 players in white kits, though, closing in on him and Gallagher now. Guarded by Bolt. Here's Carlton. Works with the left and the right. Metcalf ends up with it after the slide tackle. What does Carranza do? In on Van Schaik, knocked out by Hackshaw. Settled, chipped, and Nico Rittmeyer sends it out, but not until Kendall Moulin. Gallagher and Ambrose sent further wide to Brandon Vasquez. Trying to go in on Skylar Thomas. A lot of cleats in one space. Mikey Ambrose with it. Gallagher. Gets a bit of a push from Wild, maintains possession, sends it back over to Carranza. Sends it in with the right. Vasquez attempts the header over the end line, and it will be a goal kick.
Charleston defensively, they're fine with all the crosses being lobbed in. Mueller, Thomas, Hackshaw, no problem winning those headers or at least getting a body on Vasquez there and not letting him have a clean look on goal.
Minute 75 at the Proving Ground. 2-0 Charleston Battery as Svanteson heads it forward. But a 2-on-1. Rittmeyer loses out to Wheeler Amanu. Double teamed at the boundary.
Vasquez earns the free kick.
There you go. Kendall Edwards. Mikey Ambrose. Thought about Gallagher. Now he sends Gallagher long, but picked off by Skylar Thomas. Nicely done. Sends it into the 17th row.
That hesitation gave Thomas just enough time to get in before Gallagher.
I was going to say, little help. Carlton with the right. Sends it around Hackshaw. Everybody leaves it alone, so it'll be another goal kick for Kuzminski. Visit the USL's Instagram story every Monday evening to watch Kelsey Steele's hat trick as she breaks down 3 key talking points from the previous week's action. So it's the Instagram page for the USL at USL Soccer, Kelsey Steele, and her hat trick. Into minute 76. 2-0 Charleston and sent long. And over the end line, it's just kind of a why not. So for the final 15 minutes plus a couple of minutes added on with substitutions and such. Another substitute about ready to check in for ATL UTD2. Looks like Devin Sandoval might be making an appearance. After starting on the weekend, getting a handful of minutes here in game 2 of the quick back-to-back. Gallagher deep in the corner, guarded by Bolt. Metcalf. Carranza. Deflected, kept back. Carranza with the chip. Nicely done to defend there by Skylar Thomas. But through all of the pinballing, it stays with ATL UTD2 and Carranza. Ambrose. Kendall Moulin. Over to Miles Robinson. Trying to widen out all those white kits. Metcalf. Ambrose. Gallagher. Once again, Bolt marking. Carranza sends it back out. Kendall Moulin. And over to Miles Robinson again. Kendall Edwards. Metcalf. Guarded by Wild. Tremendous work tonight by Gordon Wild, offensively and defensively. Carlton shouldered off the ball. Took a big bunk from Neville Hackshaw. And I believe that is going to do it. That's going to do it for Andrew Carlton tonight. Devin Sandoval coming in minute 78.
Carlton's logged a lot of minutes in these last couple of days, 90+ on Saturday, gets into the 78th minute tonight. The heavy legs were starting to affect him in the second half. He really couldn't find a way through this stacked Charleston defense.
And I think that's definitely the right word to use when it comes to the Battery defense, stacked.
Sandoval came in with some instructions for the back line. We'll see how things shift around as Scott Donnelly goes for it here with the veteran Sandoval going up top next to Brandon Vasquez.
Robinson, Ambrose, Sandoval looking to settle, but just sent back out by Skylar Thomas. Back to Robinson. Robinson, Ambrose, Gallagher, Carranza, that triangle working. Sandoval now getting integrated into it. And Mikey Ambrose gets the ball off of Gordon Wild, so they keep possession. Metcalf. Vasquez working his way in and out. Kendall Mullen, the sweep over to Ambrose. Carranza. Great work by Todd Bryan and Nunga defensively too tonight for Charleston.
Such an underrated player in this league. Really starting to come into his own.
Edwards. Kendall Mullen. Tries to shuttle it in with the right to Carranza. No foul, no whistle. Bolt clears. Miles Robinson with the header. Svanteson chased. Metcalf with it. The big send now looking for Vasquez. Guarded by Hackshaw. Into the box. Picked up by Kuzminski.
Great ball from Jack Metcalf to pick out Vasquez on about a 50-yard ball. Header from Vasquez trying to find Sandoval cutting across, but Kuzminski out on top of it quickly.
Final 10 minutes here at the Proving Ground. Charleston up 2-0. Sandoval in recently, and a whistle there. A lot of activity.
Like a dangerous play on Charleston, and a yellow card.
Yellow card on Todd Bryan and Nunga there. Vasquez and Sandoval.
Opportunity here for Atlanta. They have not been able to test Kuzminski on these set pieces.
So Todd Bryan and Nunga gets the yellow. Let's see what Metcalf does here as we head toward minute 82. Right foot, near post, too much.
14 shots for ATL UTD2 tonight. Only 3 on target. That equals Charleston's tally for the night. 3 shots on target, 2 goals. Very efficient from the Battery tonight.
Kuzminski sends it in play. Svanteson posting up on Miles Robinson. Anunga gets control of it, but so now does Gallagher. Taken off his feet. And they're going to call Anunga again for a whistle. Quick reset there. They let it go. Ambrose. Bolt quickly back on defense. Skylar Thomas clears.
No way through the Charleston defense tonight for ATL UTD2.
Kendall Mullen and Carranza. Chip, Hackshaw. Metcalf looking to get around Rittmeyer. We'll send it forward with the right, and that's long out of bounds as he was trying to find Gordon Wild there. Throwing ATL UTD2, Mikey Ambrose on the hop. Edwards and Metcalf. Sandoval. Miles Robinson. Ambrose and Gallagher over at the near. Brandon Vasquez, Anunga out to meet him. Passing the lane, deflected out. Edwards keeps it. Metcalf. Miles Robinson. Vasquez, Skylar Thomas interjects, intercepted by Wild.
Too easy for Thomas there.
Sent back, Taylor Mueller sends it clear for another throw for ATL UTD2. Looks like here in the final 7+, if the Battery have an opportunity, it's just going to be a long launch down to the other side.
Well, as Atlanta commits more numbers forward, they're definitely primed to give up something on the counter.
Anunga looking for Svantesson. Ball got caught up in his cleats. 3 of the stripes there to meet him, and it sticks with ATL UTD2.
Has to be faster for ATL UTD2. These slow builds just make it so easy for Charleston to win the clearance.
Miles Robinson. Ambrose and Gallagher. Bolt. Off the push and the mark. Trying to figure out what happens last. And the hand fighting creates a whistle.
Another one we haven't talked about much tonight, Jay Bolt.
Yep.
Locked down that side.
Which teams are hitting peak performance in the USL? Find out every Monday afternoon when the USLsoccer.com power rankings are released to see where your team sits after its most recent results. Wild working his way in past Kendall Edwards, left foot, and in the side netting. Another shot, goal for the Battery. Too easy.
What a night for Gordon Wild. 2 goals, playing his parent club in some ways, Atlanta United. And Gordon Wild is having himself an evening for Charleston. 3-0 for the Battery. 4 shots on goal, 3 goals. This is what the Charleston Battery do to opponents. They frustrate you. They defend incredibly well. They don't need much of the possession, and then they hit you on the counter.
Doing exactly that. Tremendous night for Gordon Wild. And once again, you'd mentioned the transition opportunities with everybody committed forward. It was another couple of sets of cleats. Battery get possession. Wild carries it through, sends it in with the left, and it's 3-0 with 5 minutes to go.
And it started with the defensive play from Bolt. Bolt it right back, gets Gallagher off the ball, earns the foul. Quick free kick, and the Battery are in.
So let's see what the Stripes can do here in the final 5 minutes plus. Carranza, guarded by Bolt. Ambrose in with the left. Work up high, sent out by the Battery. Metcalf chasing, Rittmeyer chasing. Rittmeyer, looks like he got there first. Throw into ATL UTD2. Robinson and Kendall Moulin working back and forth. And it looks like Mike Anhauser wants to do one more substitution. Another name that Atlanta United folks are very familiar with. Looks like Patrick Okonkwo might be making a cameo this evening with Swantesson leaving. Hackshaw header cleared. Volley through in the final and the substitution here for Charleston. And that's going to be a night for Svantesson. In the 87th, Patrick Okonkwo coming in the match.
Svantesson, big night for the 6'6" forward. It's his first season with the Battery. Spent last year with the Tulsa Roughnecks and led them in goals with 11 in 30 matches. Really a perfect fit for Coach Anhauser's system. Now we get to see Patrick Okonkwo for a run out. Atlanta United Academy product, played here in Georgia with Georgia United, signed to a homegrown deal at the beginning of the year, but the minutes were not going to be plentiful with ATL UTD2 with the number of forwards that are in the system as well as first-team players down on loan. And Okonkwo goes over to Charleston, and he's been a factor for the Battery, playing a lot of matches this season.
Ambrose off the foul call as Gallagher tried to work his way from near to far. Metcalf trying to settle, trying to run away from Nico Rittmeyer. Gets it on the return. Pass picked off by Okonkwo in the lane. Can he get sprung? As Kendall Edwards gets there first, sends it to Nico Careau, who'll come up and help out.
Two players who know each other very well, but love to see that from Okonkwo, getting in and defending deeper, becoming more of a complete forward.
Robinson, Kendall Edwards, and Metcalf. Robinson with Ambrose here, guarded by Bolt. There's Vasquez. Skylar Thomas on him. A lot of heavy legs and cleats into the turf to try to make sure that possession stays one way or the other. Bolt ends up with it and sends it out.
We talked about it early on, what this formation was going to be like for Charleston. We hadn't seen this until the match over the weekend in Harrisburg against Penn FC. You know, it plays like a 5-4-1 in a lot of ways. It's five in the back, the two wing backs on the outside who can get forward, but they've stayed home for the most part tonight, and it's a box midfield in the middle. It's worked wonders tonight, really stymieing the Atlanta attack.
Gallagher trying to get something done. Skylar Thomas picks it up, goes all the way back to Nico Careau, settles on the volley to Miles Robinson. 45 seconds left in the 90, plus a couple of minutes added because of substitutions. See how many minutes get added on as we go. Metcalf sends it in with the right. Sandoval was there because Kuzminski gets there first.
Strong night for Kuzminski, dealing with the crosses especially.
3 minutes officially added on now in about 10 seconds. Kendall Edwards. Kendall Moulin. And White Kit's getting in the passing lanes. There's Van Schaik again. But here comes ATL UTD2. Carranza. Gallagher. Bolt right there as he's been all night long. Vasquez trying to get around to Nunga. Sends it deep into the corner. Can Gallagher get there? Yes, but cleared into about the 10th row by the Battery. Quick reintroduction. And Ambrose. Left to right, tries to send it forward. And cleared by the Battery again. Working against the clock, trying to figure out what they can do in the final 2+ minutes now. ATL UTD2 down 3-0. Night of nights for Gordon Wild. A goal in the 51st and a goal in the 85th. To just nail it down for the last game in this long road swing for the Battery here. As they get ready to head home for a handful of matches in ATL UTD2, who get the throw in there. This will be their last match at home until May the 16th. 7 of their next 8 on the road. And a whistle there and a foul. Okonkwo called as he took Carranza down. And Metcalf will take the kick. And see what Metcalf sees here. Short wall in front of him. Sent into the mixer over everybody, knocked out by the Battery, and it'll go to the other side. Quick throw in here. Gallagher and Ambrose. Back out to Miles Robinson. Sent in, Hackshaw right there. Anunga trying to get something on the joust. Wild and A couple of ATL UTD2 bodies going after it, but great speed to close from behind to keep another opportunity coming for Nico Rittmeyer. Sent back for the stripes, and here's Mikey Ambrose sending it deep with the left. Vasquez was there. Hackshaw was there first, and the flag up. And Joe Kuzminski obviously going to take his sweet time here with what he can do.
Referee Rubio Vasquez asked him to speed it up a bit.
Okay.
Not much time left.
Nope. Carew, Miles Robinson, Gallagher. Once again, Bolt right there. The entire evening. No matter who's been in front of him, he's been right there tightly marking the entire time. Sandoval to Metcalf. Back to Miles Robinson. And that will do it. Dominating performance by the Charleston Battery to put 3 goals on the board. And the stat that you mentioned, the number of shots were the same, the number of goals were different.
Yeah, and this Charleston Battery team, final game out of 4 on the road, and they get a win. They take that win home now and have a little bit of momentum. It's the flip side for Atlanta. They haven't won since the opener. Now they're about to go on the road.
All right, so let's take a look at how we got to this moment in time when you look at the highlights. And early on, once again, Atlanta United and ATL UTD2 had their opportunities.
Andrew Carlton with an early opportunity, unable to test Kuzminski, unable to find the space. Shot goes off the side of the net. Carlton struggled a little bit as the match went on tonight.
Coming back, playing a lot of minutes over the weekend and back here now as well. Jackson Conway started.
Jackson Conway, 60 minutes for the academy player. Great turn at midfield and the run. Unable to get the final product on goal, but it's a good 60 minutes for the young player.
Lagos Kunga also getting into it.
Kunga, again, trying to find space. He was really stymied out wide by this Charleston defense. When he could cut inside, he was able to find some spots. Unable to get a shot on target, though.
And then the double post.
Ian Svantesson, you don't need much possession when you have a 6'6" target forward. You just get him the ball and let him turn on players. Great turn and quick shot. Carew had no chance. The post couldn't keep it out either.
And then obviously 2 posts. It hits the third, but by the time it hit the second post, it was over the goal line. That made it 1-0 on the board. Good for the Battery getting that first goal on the board for them. And then Jackson Conway one more time.
Another opportunity on the cross. This time Conway with a pretty good look at goal, unable to get the header down to test Kuzminski.
So Jackson Conway getting his minutes in tonight. Now, Gordon Wild had a night.
Yeah, the Gordon Wild show was the second half. Really impressive performance from this young player who there were so many questions about Gordon Wild when he was drafted in the second round by Atlanta United. We see his quality here tonight in these 2 goals in the second half to put this match away. And you mentioned it a bunch of times. Defensively as well, Wild was a handful.
And then you mentioned the second goal, so he gets the second goal of this evening.
Gordon Wild gets it done. Had to impress the Atlanta United brass here tonight.
All right, statistics. When we look at the finals for the 90 minutes, is there anything that sticks out to you? Yes, we know possession doesn't matter, but what kind of stats really do matter? You're looking at shots 16-10 on the board, shots on target 4-3, blocks, whatever. What else sticks out in your mind?
That's Charleston's game. They did exactly what they wanted to do. They wanted to sit and defend. They didn't want to get out chasing very much. They made it very difficult for Atlanta United to find their opportunities. This many crosses, 28 crosses for Atlanta United 2. That's not what you expect from an Atlanta team. It's not their strong suit.
791 passes, 89.5% passing accuracy, but once again, it doesn't matter. 3-0 on the scoreboard. Next up for ATL UTD2, it's the beginning of the long road trip, and they go to a very difficult place. It's Pittsburgh, Saturday, 7 o'clock from the river. A tough test against a very stout defense.
Pittsburgh hasn't lost this season. That's going to be a tough spot in one of the best stadiums in USL. Beautiful venue there at Highmark.
The 17s here got to see the beginnings of a rivalry, and Gordon Wild had him a night. That is without question, showing off in front of the Battery fans who made it, also the Atlanta United front office and the Atlanta United fans that were here. So 2 goals for Gordon Wild in a 3-0 win for the Charleston Battery as they climb up in the standings. They now have 8 points in the Eastern Conference. ATL UTD2 has 6 with their first loss on the year. He is Jason Longshore. I am John Nelson. Thanks for hanging out with us at the Proving Ground tonight. Obviously a rough night for ATL UTD2, but once again, questions have to be answered as the season continues to go along. Thanks for hanging out with us and accessing us however you were doing so. Play it safe, everybody. We will see you next time from the Proving Ground. Be good, everybody.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.